3 years may have passed since the last Women's Euros, but the energy surging through the heart of European football is electric once more. Now, a new generation, fresh-faced and fearless, steps forward onto the grandest of continental stages. 16 nations, hundreds of dreams, and an entire summer in Switzerland await. These aren't just players. These are artists, warriors, architects of a changing game. And this is their moment. It begins not with a roar, but with a whisper. A whisper that grew louder and louder until it reached a crescendo in the form of one name, Aggie Beever-Jones. As England braced for a Nations League showdown, with Mary Earp's retirement dominating the build-up, it wasn't Earp's gloves that stole the spotlight. It was Beever-Jones' boots. A 33-minute hat-trick. Ruthless, poised, clinical, she didn't just announce herself. She screamed her intent into the cold night air, into the ears of doubters, into the history books. With Russo and Toon sidelined, the young Chelsea prodigy rose, not just to fill shoes, but to make her own footprint. Karen Bardsley didn't mince words. Beever-Jones, she said, was the future. Left wing, right wing, through the center, it didn't matter. The girl was a predator. She hunted goals. From Chelsea's academy to being their top scorer in the WSL, Aggie has always been about moments. Clutch moments. That FA Cup semi-final winner against Liverpool. It wasn't luck, it was prophecy. She's one of the chosen few who see the game 2 seconds earlier than the rest of us. And at Euro 2025, defenders beware, she's coming. But the story doesn't end in England. It shifts across the border to Wales, where Carrie Jones is preparing for history. Not personal glory, national history. For the first time ever, Wales will walk out in a major women's tournament. And leading the way, a girl who's already spent 6 years in the spotlight, despite being only 20. At 15, she wore the Red Dragon before she could wear a club jersey. And now, with IFK Norrköping in Sweden, her game has matured, refined. She's a chameleon. Wing, midfield, striker, it doesn't matter. And ask any Welsh fan, and they'll say what Gwen and Harry's once prophesied, she's going to be the heartbeat of Welsh football for the next 2 decades. Because talent is common, but composure, work ethic, and humility, that's rare. From the valleys of Wales, we travel to the sun-drenched streets of Spain, where Salma Paralluelo is rewriting the rulebook of what it means to be elite. World champion, Nations League winner, 2-time Champions League conqueror, Ballon d'Or podium regular, all at 21. She's not just a footballer, she's an avalanche of brilliance. Paralluelo's left foot is poetry and precision. Her runs, devastating. Her pedigree, unmatched. To hold youth, U20, and senior World Cup titles simultaneously is unheard of. She walked away from a career in athletics to give her all to the beautiful game, and what a gift she's been. Euro 2025 will be her canvas once again, and Spain will hand her the brush. But football isn't all fireworks. Sometimes, greatness is built in the shadows. Quietly, steadily. Step forward, Wieke Kaptein. The Dutch metronome, just 19, but already a midfield general. FC Twente nurtured her. Chelsea has embraced her, and Europe is beginning to take notice. In Chelsea's invincible WSL campaign, she was the engine that never tired. Starting 7 of 10 Champions League matches in a star-studded midfield. That speaks volumes. Sonia Bompasta sees it. So does Katisha Buchanan. This isn't just potential, it's presence. Kaptein doesn't play with fear, she plays with fluency. She sees spaces where others see chaos. She is calm in the storm. And then, there is Germany. And in that fortress of football, there is Franziska Kett, a name many don't know yet. But they will. The Bayern Munich Dynamo is just 19, but she defends like a seasoned centurion. Explosive, agile, tactical, Kett is the type of player who doesn't just tackle. She erases. Christian Wieke didn't hesitate. She's been watched, studied, groomed for this. A runner-up at the U19 Euros, a Bundesliga and Champions League warrior, Kett is ready. In a German backline that's evolving, she is the new spine. The future foundation. Next, we look to the Alps. To Switzerland. To a girl whose name whispers through camp now like the early winds of summer, Sydney Schertenleib, 18 years old. And already a key cog in the most talented team on earth, Barcelona. Since March, she's started almost every league match. She's played on both flanks, in midfield, up front, she adapts, she thrives. Switzerland plays her differently, as a right-sided striker. And she delivers. Goals, movement, daring. Her nation hosts this tournament. And with the crowd behind her, Schertenleib could go from unknown to unstoppable. And finally, to France. Where a titan has stepped aside, and a teenager has stepped up. Wendy Renard's shadow is long, but Vicki Sombath is ready to walk into the light. Born to Thai parents, forged in Lyon, polished against Europe's elite. At just 18, she started alongside Renard. Now, she replaces her. Champions League semi-final starter, France debutante, and more than that, a symbol of transition, of faith, of the next generation stepping into greatness. Joe Montemurro saw it, so did Briege Mbok. The French backline is no longer inherited. It's earned. From England to France, from Switzerland to Spain, from Netherlands to Germany, from Wales to the world. This generation isn't waiting, they're arriving, ready, willing, unafraid. They don't need permission, they don't need comparison, they don't even need time. Because the summer is here. The lights are on, the stadiums are full, and a new era is dawning, not with promises, but with performances. Remember their names: Beever-Jones, Jones, Paralluelo, Kaptein, Kett, Schertenleib, Sombath.